Hillary, and here's the deal. Forget anybody but Trump, anybody but Hillary. And then you watch Trump's courage out there with the death threats. You watch him lose all these businesses and golf courses and hotel deals and beauty pageant deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You watch him spend $50 million of his own money. You watch him say Hillary for president. You watch him say our economic surrender is over. You watch him expose Hillary as a communist Chinese agent. You watch him come out and expose that Black Lives Matter is a George Soros group to destabilize the country. I've gone from holding my nose 14, 15 months ago supporting Trump to being 100% behind him. 100% behind him. And I think I can speak for Drudge, just because I know Drudge is a common sense guy. I've read his writing. I've seen what he links to. I've gotten a pulse for what Drudge thinks. And I think that I can give you a dead reckoning guess here that it's exactly why I just told you he's supporting Trump. But that'd be like if I guessed why you supported Trump. I mean, isn't it the same reason? He's the underdog. Both political parties are against him. The establishment we hate that keeps giving us New World Order is against him. The whole power structure is throwing money against him. The media is lying against him. The media is distorting what he said. And he's running against Hillary Clinton. I mean, that is a no-brainer why Matt Drudge supported Donald Trump, because he's clearly the best choice. He's clearly the guy we need. And it's such an epic time to be alive, historically, at this crossroads, where the choice is so clear. I don't think Donald Trump's going to be perfect. Nobody is. But he is not out to get this country, and he does want to make this country great again. That's why he's got my full backing. And by the way, that means your full backing. I began to support Trump early on because I knew Hillary would be the nominee. And I said, I hope I'm right. But my gut tells me I'm going in the right direction. It's never been wrong. And I tell you, a lot of you that haven't supported Trump are going to feel really stupid. And I think it's about a 50% chance they're going to kill him. And so when they blow his plane up or shoot him in front of everybody, those of you that were, going, oh, I'm the purist, I'm for Ted Cruz. Oh, I'm the purist, I'm for all this bull. Ted Cruz is bought and paid for by Goldman Sachs and bought and paid for by the Bushes, and it's been proven. And I held my nose and hoped he'd just gotten, basically incubated by them, but had woken up. But because the Bush name is dead now, politically, I'm telling you, he would be their third term. And I don't want to dislike Ted Cruz. But the guy is a phony. He's a phony Texan. And I get really irritated by guys with lizard skin boots and cowboy hats sticking their fingers in their pockets and walking around going, oh, I'm a cowboy. You can go there. I mean, it makes me sick. The guy's all hat and no cattle. And I'm not getting off into a fight about Cruz. But Trump has issued the olive branch to Cruz. He's been sneaking around behind the scenes, and it's his people and a bunch of fake people in cowboy hats wearing Texas shirts who make me want to throw up. And it's a Texas coalition of carpetbaggers from Texas. Boy, isn't that reverse psychology? That's what's going on. A bunch of fake Texans up here in Cleveland, degrading my state, degrading my heritage with this phony Canadian. Nothing against Canadians, but my God, I'm not up there trying to run your country. It's like Schwarzenegger. Even if I like Schwarzenegger, which I don't, the guy's not from here, man. Dude, go to Austria and run for president. Polls show you'd win. I mean, go to your country, go to your homeland. But he's an open borders guy anyways, and anti-gun. What I'm getting at is the reign of fake conservatives is coming to an end. Donald Trump, Matt Drudge, Alex Jones, we all herald the end of this. And I want to give credit where credit's due. Even mainstream media says, okay, Matt Drudge is the only guy that probably could have stopped Trump. Well, that's right. The grassroots could have stopped Trump. That's why we were reached out to very early on by the Trump people when I was already supporting it. It was because they understood that. And I'm going to leave it at that. But it is important for the Trump people to not let the rhinos that are left in the party keep people out of the tent that built the tent, like Ted Nugent. By the way, Ted Nugent doesn't need to be at this RNC. But it's pure baloney that he wanted to be here early on, and they just said, no, you're too radical. Not Trump, but the RNC. And Ted Nugent's too cool of a guy to sit there and go bitch and complain to Donald Trump, who he knows. But again, this is how this stuff operates. This is how they get things done. and I'm sitting here on Business Insider. It says, David Duke, former KKK Grand Wizard, he's with Trump. Are you? I mean, that is, well, you've got a Grand Dragon out in California for Hillary. Does that mean that, that she's for the KKK? Well, in her case, actually, she is. That's who she got tootled by, was Senator Robert Byrd, who was actually a real Grand Dragon. But going deeper into this article, it's a larger issue than just Drudge. You read the article and it says, oh my gosh, Drudge gave an interview, an exclusive, when he doesn't give them but every few years, to Infowars.com. He's so horrible. And it's got Glenn Beck criticizing Drudge here. And then they don't even give you a link to the Drudge 45-minute interview. They have Glenn Beck popping off in the article. So we're going to take their headline. We're going to post it, but point out that they didn't let you actually hear what Drudge had to say. So here's the 45-minute interview if you actually want to know what's going on. So all the general tactics, I'm not even really attacking this article. It's written kind of from both sides schizophrenically, but it's got the classic Benedict Arnold in here of Glenn Beck saying, I don't know what the hell happened to Matt Drudge, echoed Beck, the prominent conservative talk show host, who supports Hillary Clinton, I should add, and founder of the Blaze. And then it goes on to have Cruz, also attacking Drudge previously, but then not actually letting you hear what Drudge has to say. Drudge is going with the populist. Drudge is going with Americana. Drudge is going with the future. Drudge is in fact, not just going, he's leading it because he is a populist, a nationalist, a true libertarian conservative, just like I am. And so he's helping lead the future, not a coward, not someone who's neutral or beyond neutral. There are things far worse than the neutral Rand Paul, somewhat neutral. No, we've got the Glenn Beck, who's been going on the Sunday news shows with Democratic Party operatives and bad-mouthing. I'm going to play this clip when we come back. Bad-mouthing Trump and saying he supports Hillary Clinton. And the host of it, former Democratic Party operative, said he was, quote, speechless while he was hearing this. And even the White House-run Media Matters came out and said he's trying to rebrand himself as mainstream and join us. And then they say, we don't want you, Glenn Beck. The White House-run Media Matters. So you run to Zuckerberg and grovel at his feet and say his censorship of libertarians and conservatives is good and worth it and the thing you should be doing. You run to Meet the Press, run by the former, White House chief, who was Todd, I forget. I mean, it's totally crazy town. You run to the enemy because you were always the enemy, and I told everyone you were the enemy. But let me tell you what it means that Glenn Beck's doing this. I have been told this by the highest levels of folks under Roger Ailes. They've got a big fake scandal brewing that's being run by the Rupert Murdoch kids with ancient fake sexual harassment garbage on Roger Ailes. By the way, Roger Ailes has never done anything. We're going to skip this network break. Roger Ailes has never done anything for me. I have been offered Fox shows and have refused them. Mancow's on record. I've been offered contracts 3 different times. They can't believe I won't do weekend shows. So here's the deal. I'm not saying this about Roger Ailes because I want to get any type of entree into Fox. Fox is a sinking island. Fox is meant to be destroyed by the Rupert Murdoch children as soon as they get Ailes out of the way, and Rupert Murdoch is fading into the oblivion, okay? And they plan to bring down Ailes by the end of this year with a made-up sexual harassment string of women, totally made up from our sources. Some of this stuff's 20 years old when he founded Fox News. And then they plan to basically turn it into a Democratic Party socialist channel. They know the demographics. Most of their viewers are dying. They know that their other companies that are 95% of what they do are in globalist media, anti-family media, anti-gun media. I mean, look at what News Corps and the Fox studios put out. Globalist disinformation. They're preparing to turn Fox into a CNN light that they think will still keep the conservative audience that's left, because where do they have to go? And that's why Glenn Beck, who is arch enemies with Roger Ailes, the two are obsessed with each other, is now going out and showing his wares on ABC and CBS and all the rest, sabotaging the libertarian move to block the globalist destruction of the republic. Here at the final moment, he shows himself to be the Benedict Arnold. So this isn't about the loser, the fake, the actor Glenn Beck. This is about the fact that this is a larger move to take over talk radio, which they're already doing, and shutting down True Patriot Host. This is a larger move to kick them all off Sirius XM. It is a larger move, ladies and gentlemen, on every stinking front there is to shut down free speech in this country. And Matt Drudge came a year ago to the InfoWars studios, or I guess a little less than a year ago. And he came to the studios and he warned people, I met with a Supreme Court justice, they're coming after free speech next year. And you notice it's all here. And then Business Insider will let us hear what Ted Cruz had to say, what Glenn Beck had to say, what a bunch of other people had to say, but won't let you actually hear. I mean, they say he doesn't give interviews but every couple of years, and he gave an interview to this crazy person, Alex Jones, but they won't let you hear what he actually had to say. But here's what happened. I've been to a bunch of different dinners and things and have been mobbed by even mainstream major newspaper writers. So the New York Times, Weekly Standard, the list goes on. And all they ask about is Matt Drudge, and how do you know Matt Drudge? And I say, I'm just really not going to make any comments. But he listens to the show some and links to a lot of our stories and is a trailblazer and came to visit me and was a surprise. He goes, is that really a surprise? I said, no, that was really a surprise. Oh, yeah, right, you staged that. No, it's not, you know. Oh, you just recanted to me that you're really a libertarian. And that's all fake. You know, just weird stuff like that. So that was, and folks were overall nice, but it's just crazy to see this. And then everybody wants this Drudge interview, but no one will actually link to it. But what's beautiful about what he's done is, whether it was the New York Times or whether it was the Weekly Standard or whether it was Politico or whether it was the Washington Post or whether it was all these different groups I talked to. I mean, it was so much my head was spinning. To a person, they all think the Matt Drudge interview happened last month. Because it took that long to start going more and more viral because nobody can get a Matt Drudge interview. So Matt is so smart. He goes and does this one interview, and then he wants to know what Matt Drudge thinks, and all they can go to is hear what he said a year ago. So no matter how much they try to ignore it, I don't think like that. He really is smart. We're all smart in different ways, but you can see Matt Drudge has this long-term vision. And so this is not the Matt Drudge butt-kissing contest. It's just really great to see with the stuff he does kind of work his magic down the road. Because my brain works different ways than that. You know, I've got my own smarts in different ways and things. Kind of the smarts of a pit bull attacking a zebra, biting it on the nose, but or a donkey. Democrat analogy here. But it's crazy to see this, and it's crazy to see them try to block everything and try to restrict and try to spin and try to act like they control the narrative and that, the populist movement's a joke. When I talk to these reporters, they are scared. They are listening. I talked to John Ronson, who's a really smart guy and, a big filmmaker as well. And I've known him for 17 years. No, 18 years. I knew him 3 years before I went into Bohemian Grove. 2 years. And he said, no, absolutely. He said, he's a big Guardian writer. He said, I'm not just telling you this. He said, your libertarian brand in Europe is the hottest thing, here in the U.S. It looks like you and Drudge and Trump are about to become the establishment. And I said, no, we're not. We're about to try to turn the people loose and show the power of populism. We're only focal points of that. But it really is amazing. And so, yes, I would have to give Matt Drudge the credit. First, the American people and populists, seeing through things. Then Matt Drudge and then myself, the credit for early on supporting Trump when it became clear that he was a populist and it was going to be Hillary if we didn't do something. But speaking of that, we've got several different clips here that we're going to play as we go out to break. Let's play one, the first clip of Glenn Beck on Meet the Press, savaging Donald Trump. And remember, this means supporting Hillary Clinton. Here it is.
Then you have Donald Trump, who the only advisors that he listens to are his children. What do you have? He's a corrupt businessman. She's corrupt. So both sides are now saying, what are you going to do? I think we feel, all Americans, I shouldn't say all, I think Reince and a few others, at both conventions are going to be fine just pulling the lever. But I think a lot of people are pulling it, not holding their nose.